There were two monks. The first two monks who did 3 steps, 1 bow. They went from San Francisco to Seattle. We had just bought some new property in Seattle for a temple. So they bowed 3 steps, 1 bow. And when they got to Seattle, Shifu declared we were going to have a World Peace Day to celebrate this, and this completion of the bowing. It was going to be a 3-day event. So basically it was a little session. We would have ceremonies and meditation and recitation, but we didn't have enough space for everybody, so we held it in a park in Seattle, public park. My father had cancer, and I was reciting the Great Compassion mantra, the Dabejo, 108 times over some water, and then I would give it to my father. And then Shifu announced, so I'd been doing this for quite a while, and my father's cancer had gone away. So Shifu announced that we were going to have this World Peace Gathering in Seattle. One night I was reciting my mantras in front of Guan Yin, and I had this thought, oh, I'll just go with Shifu. I really want to go up to Seattle. And then I thought, oh, I can't leave the temple. I have to do my mantras over this particular water, and then I have to give it to my father so he can drink the water. So the next morning, when Shifu came to the temple, and he said, Gogoi, you could go to Seattle with me. And I said, oh, I can't, Shifu. I have to recite the Dabejo for my father and give him this water. He said, the Dharma pervades everywhere. There's no place where it doesn't dwell. So if you have a sincere mind and a sincere heart, it doesn't matter where you are. I have disciples all over the world, and I'm constantly with them. And if you are doing this Dharma door, you too should know that you can do it wherever you are. So that was a kind of a beautiful moment for me, and affirmed that dharmas really aren't fixed, that the Buddha Dharma is indescribable and infinite, and this idea of universally pervasive. And this theme, so we got on the airplane the day before. We didn't have computers. We couldn't just check the weather in Seattle or see what the traffic was on the highway. But somebody found out that it had been raining in Seattle, and it was a big storm. It was due to, Seattle gets a lot of water during the year. And so it was a big winter storm, and it was supposed to be raining for the next 3 or 4 weeks, just solid rain. And so somebody mentioned this to Shifu. He said, oh, don't worry about that, I'll take care of that. So everybody else drove up to Seattle, and I flew with Shifu on the plane. And we got to Seattle, and I was looking out the window. For a 10-mile radius, there was a perfect circle over Seattle where the clouds, there was no clouds. It was just, you know, like somebody had taken a compass and drawn a circle 10 miles in diameter. There was no rain. We got to the airport, it was raining. We got into Seattle, and there was no rain. It was sunny, skies were clear, the grass we were holding the ceremonies on were all dry. And I don't know what the newspapers said about this, but we had our ceremonies and our World Peace Gathering. We got back on the plane, and the circle just disappeared as we left. And I don't think anybody else got to see this. And if I hadn't have been on the airplane with Master Hua, I wouldn't have seen it either. Because if you were in the park, in this area where we were staying, then it just seemed like the clouds had sort of parted, and it wasn't raining. But from the sky, you could see this very definite circle. It was 很奇怪, very, very strange.
那么大悲咒啊，谁念谁能有感应，谁诚心念谁就得到感应。这个大悲咒，你谁用诚心念的，谁就有灵感。大悲咒它是通天彻地的。大悲咒，它是能世间上有84000种病，它都能治。但是唯一的就是你诵持大悲咒这个人要有诚心，他才有灵感。虽然要有诚心，也要你不打妄语。你诵持大悲咒才有灵感。你要天天打妄语啊，你念大悲咒它也没有那么灵感。
这个优婆塞果归，他有我们在佛教讲堂的时候，他就来参加暑假班。以后他常常在这儿用功修行。他的父亲呢，在前年呢到伦敦去，那么和他2个人去旅行，那么他就发觉他父亲发觉自己就生了 cancer， 生了炎病。于是乎这个旅行呢就很快回来就治这个炎病呢，治这个 cancer 病呢，那么经过一个时期也没有好。我们在去年呢春天 last year 春天，我在香港他打电话说他说要发愿呢让他父亲不被这个 cancer 病呢死了。那么问怎么办？我当时就叫他念大悲咒。那么他就每天呢念108遍大悲咒。那么结果以后他父亲呢这 cancer 病呢就不知道到什么地方去了，没有。
那么在我所经验，大悲咒你能持好了，真是入水不腻，入火不分逢凶化吉，遇难成祥。但是就要你用你的真诚心恒远的心来受持读诵，它就有功效。那么诚心，拿出真诚的心，为国家消灾免难，我们来 以这个至诚恳切的心为国家来以大悲咒护国，以大悲咒息灾，以大悲咒来增长人的善根和智慧。